Coming up on 7:30 now, and welcome back to Arc Salt Lake, where we cover authentic, relevant, and community stories. Okay, fluoridated water, we've been talking about this a lot lately, helps reduce cavities in kids by 35%. Just this week, that law went into effect in Utah, banning fluoride from water systems.
Well, we have practicing dentist Dr. Brigham Stoker here. He's with Ultradent to tell us about a big program you have coming up to help kids who might not have fluoride anymore.
Right. So now that there's no fluoride in the water, we want to make sure people have options on how they can get that fluoride in one way or another. And Ultradent has donated 70,000 units or doses of what's called topical fluoride.
Okay.
So when you go to the dentist and they're like, hey, do you want fluoride today? They paint a fluoride on your teeth that stays on your teeth for a certain amount of time.
What, that foam stuff?
It's not as much the foam anymore.
Okay.
It's more of a paint, like a varnish.
Like a varnish.
Yeah, exactly. I do remember that foam stuff. That was hard. That was miserable. But the foam, the varnish gets painted on your teeth and it stays on there for 24 hours, a certain amount of time, and it really strengthens your teeth. And so we've donated 70,000 doses of that to the schools, different community organizations to be able to give these fluoride applications to communities or populations who maybe don't have access to the dental care, who maybe aren't seeing a dentist regularly, just so people have options now to still be able to get some fluoride.
Well, we understand that parents, if there's not fluoride in your water, you can find out how much fluoride is naturally in your water and then get a prescription. That sounds kind of complicated, and does it cost money?
Well, yeah, I mean, you do have to order. You can find a kit that tells you how much fluoride is in your water. I'm not exactly sure how expensive they are.
I think the cities keep track of
Right,
the
they might.
well.
Probably if you call your city, they'd be able to tell you. But like people who have wells or something, they may have a different level. So sometimes you do have to test. But you should be able to get a prescription from your dentist or even your primary care physician for some fluoride tablets. I remember taking fluoride tablets when I was young at some point in time. And so that's another good way to get your fluoride.
Now, when is this all going to be available?
So throughout this summer, throughout 2025, like I said, we've got all these units. The first 2,000 doses that we've donated is going to this event in Willis Park. The Salt Lake Community College Hygiene School is doing an event there, and they will have these doses of fluoride to be able to apply. You can just walk up and no questions asked.
And you get your varnish?
Yep, they'll just paint it on your teeth and give you all the instructions, and that's a great way to make sure you get some fluoride on your kids' teeth or your teeth. It benefits kids, it benefits adults. Everybody can benefit from it.
Okay, we're looking at the date right there. So that's on May 17th, right there in Salt Lake.
From 10 to 4.
Yep, Salt Lake City Community College Dental Hygiene.
And the dental students will be the ones doing the work?
Yep.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, the hygiene
Good
students.
practice for them.
Yep. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So you mentioned that the varnish stays on there for, what, 24
Yeah,
hours?
you actually, when you apply varnish to a patient's teeth, you actually, as weird as it sounds, you tell them not to brush their teeth that night because you want that varnish to sit. The nice thing about the varnish compared to the foam will get on there and then it rinses off pretty quickly. The varnish stays on your teeth for, overnight and just really penetrates the tooth and
like varnish on wood.
Exactly.
It soaks in after a while.
Yeah.
Okay, you just need to give it a minute.
How long does that last?
So again, the mechanism of how it works, the fluoride goes in and just strengthens your enamel. So it's something that dentists usually recommend applying every 6 months when you come in for your cleanings, just to really, it kind of changes the formulation of the enamel, the strength of the enamel by embedding itself in there and preventing decay, preventing cavities from entering.
And I guess fluoride in toothpaste will help.
It does the same thing, yeah. So if you're worried about your fluoride, make sure your kids are using some sort of fluoridated toothpaste. There's also prescription fluoride toothpaste. If you are really concerned, if say your kid or you have a lot of cavities, you're prone to cavities. Every time you go to the dentist, you're like, oh, I have another cavity. You can ask for a prescription fluoride toothpaste, and it has even a higher dose of fluoride in it that is good to use, again, every night, just making sure you're getting that dose of fluoride to help protect
There are
your
a
teeth.
lot of families here that can't afford dental care.
Right, and that's the main problem with losing the fluoride in the water. That's who it benefited the most, and that's who it's going to harm the most, unfortunately.
We say go to the dentist every 6 months, but some
They can't afford it.
Yeah, they don't have insurance, they don't have the ability. So this is a great way. Again, Ultradent really cares about oral health and improving oral health globally. So they've donated these 70,000 doses so that there is some access to this exact population that you're talking about.
And are you getting the word out to schools and
Yep,
to
yep.
get these families
if
to
you're
come?
looking, and if you can't make it to this one in Rose Park, pay attention to the media. You can call Ultradent and find out where their next event might be. Call the schools. All the schools are more than willing, and they'll have all these doses. They're more than willing to help out and get some of this to you or your kids.
Remember the little red dye tablets? Did you ever have to do that?
Yeah, there's
Oh,
disclosing
yeah.
tablets.
Yeah.
They show you where the plaque was
It's
on
all
your teeth.
embarrassing.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Inspired you to brush your teeth, though,
Yeah,
didn't it?
it did, so.
Okay.
Yeah. You guys kind of changing the whole game plan now with this new law.
Yeah, it's interesting, and there's other options. Luckily, there's things we can do. There's places you can, like I said, the fluoride tablets, high fluoride toothpaste, these varnishes. There's still things you can do, but we're going to see the effects of it at some point in time. And some communities in the past have noticed a huge uptick in cavities in kids, and so they reintroduce it because they realize the huge benefit. The CDC has said that fluoride is in the water is one of the top 10 most beneficial things that they've discovered. Low cost, very little cost to do it, and it benefits everybody so much that we're sad, but we're hoping to provide some other options, some other ways to get that fluoride.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in. We want to show again. It's coming up on May 17th, 750 North, 1200 West. Is that a Salt Lake Community College?
No, I think it's
campus?
in Rose Park.
It's a Rose Park facility.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Slick Dental students will be helping out.
Yeah.
Thanks so
Very
much.
All right. Thanks so much. Appreciate you
problem.
coming in.
Thank you.